off the bat, I've never done anything like this, and I'm trying to whisper, so this might have really bad audio quality, but I just got to get this out there so that less people are confused. If you're watching this, you're most likely aware of the drama surrounding the MVP team and the MVP league and the NPOs and all of that. I'm just here to give my perspective on it and present you with the interactions I had with MVP through my short period of being with them and try to clear the record. For a more detailed perspective on the entire situation, go watch Catalyst HD's video. It's very well put together and obviously infinitely better than anything I'll put out editing-wise. So first I have to give some perspective on myself and my team. Originally, most of the members of my platoon, Ruin, and myself played for a team called Fuse, led by Livin Strange. We had some disagreements and we split up. We had some success in Ruin. We beat some decent teams, and one of those was MVP. We beat MVP with our B team pretty handily, so that was one of my first interactions with him. Although, while I was still in Fuse, I did have a few interactions with him, which were pretty similar to what I had in Ruin, the whole promising money and such. I'll get into more of that later. But essentially, the first time I truly talked to him was in Ruin. After one of our games that we had won and done relatively decently in, I was messaged by Dreams about potentially merging with MVP. And I'll put those screenshots up right now. And he just sent out ludicrous promises about payments and all things of that sort, and 31 sponsors, and just completely unbelievable, especially for a game like Battlefield 5, just an objectively bad video game that nobody wants to play. But, I thought that even the opportunity to gain money, just the slight chance, was worth the shot. Because, there was really nothing to lose at the time. I was promised a spot on the so-called elite scrim team. I was promised payment personally. I was promised that would increase. And I was also promised that it would increase in the future substantially. I had absolutely insane conversations with this man about having my own line of merchandise and clothing, and it was just completely unbelievable. But like I said, the opportunity, even the slightest chance that it was real, was worth it for me and my team. After being an MVP for a short period of time, we had our first scrim against the 501st, and they beat us pretty hard, and Dreams did not take that very well. He said that we had brought down MVP as a whole's reputation, and that if more of that were to happen in the future, we would probably lose our, so-called, air quotes, sponsors. And it was really weird to me that somebody that claimed to be, the most professional leader of any sports, esports, whatever team, reacted to an L in such a way, especially with a team as uncoordinated and inexperienced as the one that I'm leading currently. There were generally a bunch of small things that he did that I found bizarre. Like I said, especially coming from somebody who claimed to be the most professional leader in the realm, I wouldn't allow myself or other members of Ruin to change tags. And even though it was a rule in MVP that if you were private, you could rep whatever tags you want. But you could tell that he was extremely hell-bent on us representing MVP at all times. Two members in particular of Ruin at the time, Jaxo, Quacko, and Ninja Slayer, just didn't want to rep MVP tags all the time. And Ninja messaged them, Ninja Slayer in particular, trying to convince them to fully join MVP. He offered Ninja something ludicrous, like $700 per match, trying to coerce him into playing for them full-time. Many conversations with him about trying to be more lenient when it came to the tag situation and to let my players, represent whatever they wanted to. It's a video game. none of the money was proven at the time, so, like, it's not a business. They should be able to have fun, represent what tag they want to. But he was hell-bent on having them represent MVP tags. So that caused tensions to rise just a little bit between myself and Dreams, because we disagreed about that subject. But we had our first big frontline scrimmage coming up against Biohazard. The scrim time came 8 p.m., I believe it was, and they didn't show up. 15 minutes later, they still weren't there. 15 minutes later, still weren't there. Only 40 minutes after the scrim supposedly was supposed to start did all of them show up. You know, how professional of them. But anyway, we beat Biohazard pretty easily. And I went to the MVP server after the game to paste the link to my video, my perspective of the match. And I found that myself and all other members of Ruin had been taken out of the MVP Discord. We weren't allowed to say anything in general. I was very confused. I messaged Dreams, who was online, and I got no reply. None of the other Ruin members knew what was going on either. We continued to message him collectively, and no reply. Only the next morning did we get any sort of response on what was going on. Essentially, I was told that it just, quote, didn't really work out or whatever, and that we were bringing the rep of MVP down, and that the way we played would halt sponsors from joining or some BS. And yeah, we were all instantly cut. I was extremely upset, I guess you'd say, about it. I was upset. I felt lied to. I felt cheated. And most importantly, my team, I think, kind of lost some faith in me because of, I made that decision. I decided to join MVP. I decided to merge. And it didn't work out. I made the wrong decision. That's when it dawned upon me that, you know what? This whole thing is actually extremely fishy. So I started taking screenshots of evidence. All the lies, all the promises, the supposed sponsors, the nonprofit organization, the merchandise, the Bang, the Ninja conversation, the Turtle Beach, all of it, all the info was collected. I then messaged an individual by the name of Baked Jake, who has a lot of ties in the community, and sent him a lot of evidence against Dreams and against MVP, and he helped me spread it like wildfire throughout the entire community, including into Catalyst's hands. MVP was essentially, found guilty by the jury of the Battlefield teams, and Dreams kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Catalyst made his video more, heavily publicizing all the information and all the lies. Now, what do I personally think of it? I don't think it was an intentional scam. I don't think that Dreams had any ill intent. I think it started with Dreams creating his team and then not succeeding. So to begin to bring in better players, he derived, the idea of fake sponsorships and blah, blah, blah. I mean, from my perspective, what would you do? If somebody hit you up with all these miraculous claims, you'd go for it too. It's an excellent strategy to get people hooked in. I've never really made videos like this. I mean, almost all of my videos are 100% to please myself, just kind of for shits and giggles. So tell me if you guys think it's well done or not or whatever. But yeah, just go watch Catalyst's video. It's much better than mine. But this is my perspective, and these are my opinions.